I'm Krish, and this is my IMP slide about moral courage and intelligent disobedience. So first of all, what is moral courage? Well, moral courage is the courage to take action for moral reasons despite the risk of any backlash or any consequences. So doing something without caring what other people think and for the best of others. So usually intelligent disobedience and moral courage is especially used in unsafe practices such as being in the military as well as being in the healthcare industry and also as well as hard labor. So unsafe practices usually should require the difference between knowing what moral courage is as well as physical courage. The leaders of these practices should also contain intelligent disobedience and moral courage to lead others in the community to act the same, as well as prevention of societal issues within a community. So the lenses that I'll be covering today is the statistical lens through tables, the ethical lens, as well as the futuristic lens that I'll be diving into with the solution. So first of all, one unsafe practice especially is serving in the military. So serving in the military requires a lot of physical courage as well as moral courage. But usually when people come to the military, they always think, first it's always bravery and physical courage, how much can you push your body? But there's also an idea of people being scared to speak up on certain issues or speak up on what is wrong or right as they are scared to be limited to certain issues. Or they're in fear of how other people may perceive them, as well as generals or other leaders in the community. So I want to dive in more into the difference between moral and physical courage, as not only just the military, but any industry requiring physical courage needs to understand the difference, as they only believe that putting your body through physical courage is gonna allow you to move far in a certain community. So it's important to understand that physical courage is the idea to push yourself, push one's body, or push someone to a certain limit. However, moral courage is not just mental courage, but it's also doing what is right and what you know is right compared to what other people think. And this is extremely important to be used in the healthcare industry as well. As you can see in the medical field, this is an example or a diagram that shows the model of surgical. And this is like a little circle that shows the required attributes, action elements, and foundation components. As you can see, every single section includes morals, ethics, obligation, as well as courage down here, and critical thinking. As you can see, moral courage is especially needed in the healthcare industry, as these people are extremely smart, and if they need to speak up on a certain issue, it's important for them to do, as they're putting people's life at risk and saving their lives. It's important for them to know that they need to speak up on certain issues when the time is right. So this also ties into leadership of these communities. So for example, if generals or leaders of surgeries or nurses or doctors need to understand that within their community, they need to build up intelligent disobedience and moral courage to influence their audience. So some leading practices can be seen unsafe nowadays, since these leaders don't really want their people to speak up on certain issues. For example, through the military, many of the soldiers are restricted to saying anything. They just have to listen to what the general says. But they have to understand, if they see something that is wrong, the leader also has to dive in and talk to the community and tell them, if you need to say something, it is right. So actually, a study by Harvey actually said that it provided results from the study came that leaders, there was a gap between leaders and ethical roles. So these leaders weren't able to actually provide good ethical roles to these communities. So if these leaders are not providing good examples, these communities will not have the courage to speak up on certain issues, as they're too scared of the backlash that these leaders will give them. So here's like a pure example of societal pressure. So as you can see in all these experiments, you can see as the experiment at the top, it comes from campuses and colleges. You can see how people are so quick to obey certain rules or obey certain ideas, since they're revolved around a huge community. However, as you go down, it's less people. It's two people together shocking each other, two people together providing an experience with each other. They're less prone to like abide to rules. So I want to talk more about intelligent disobedience, as an experiment was made by Yale University between wanted to shock each other, and as they saw other people shock each other, those people were also eager to do the same. 92%. This just shows how many people are obliged to obey certain things. They're not prone to disobeying, and it's important for people to disobey as many are taught to throughout the community, but it's important for them to, as if they don't, they may leave the community more harm than ever. So I believe the solution to this is that we should implement programs and ideas before the community starts. So for example, in the military or the healthcare industry, there should be a course and idea that the general speaks to everyone and talks to them that, hey, it's okay to speak. It's okay to speak about certain circumstances. You don't always have to abide by every single rule. This is extremely important as not only these are going to create dilemmas and unsafe environments, but this will allow everyone in the community to connect with each other better instead of always abiding by one rule. This will allow people to also be aware of their community, as generals may not be aware of how their people are treated, and since they can't speak up, or people in the healthcare industry can't speak up on people who are risking their lives, they aren't able to implement these programs, which is really necessary. So here are some limitations of the solution, as many people are fear of opposition or to change of this because they believe that their traditional values are already good. As military right now, they may want to stay that, keep it that way. For the healthcare industry, they don't want people to speak up all the time, as many of these people may get they may carry lawsuits on them, especially in the healthcare industry, as it's a big issue. So people may not want to bring this into light, as people can ruin their own communities, or if people speak out on them, many people may be exposed. Limited resources is also an issue, as many people or many trainers are not around to also teach all these programs. So it's important not just for for limited resources, but advantages that these generals need to understand that they can also themselves learn about the issues and then provide it towards the community. Another limitation is the fear of retaliation. As I was saying before, that if people have this much of intelligent disobedience, that they won't be scared to speak out on certain issues. Unlike usually how people usually speak out, how people usually don't speak out, the community is not vulnerable to taking backlash. Please my work study.
Okay, so we have 2 questions for you. Firstly, how did your research question evolve as you moved through the research process? Did your research go in a different direction than you originally planned?
Yes, it did actually go in a different direction, as I really wanted to talk about more physical courage this time, as in my research paper I didn't really speak about physical courage and the difference, because I feel like that was really important to understand that there is physical courage, but a lot of people take moral courage in the wrong way, so it's important to distinguish between the two.
Okay. And then lastly, what are the implications of your research to your local school or neighborhood communities?
So I can say that intelligent disobedience can also work in schools as well as any system or doctors nearby. Since people aren't able to speak up about their issues, then as a community they won't be able to evolve as a whole.
Okay, that's it.